first session of the year for the vlog. I'll be honest with you, I fucked this up a little bit because I forgot that my missus was going to the cinema. So I need to get back in about 15 minutes. I have a full session for my Anton to do. I also got the wrong lens. It looks great here, but it's going to be hard to fit my whole self in this thing because the gym's not long enough. It's a fixed focal length. So I fucked this up. So I've got snatches, snatch pulls and back squats, and then presses, French press and whole plates. So we gotta fit that in as fast as possible. I'm not warmed up. I haven't lifted the barbells since Saturday, so I'm doing about 2 sessions a week at the moment. So I'm probably tight in the shoulders, but we will do our best. Get this all fitted in. We'll get this all in. I'll stop blabbering. I'll show you a little bit of warm up and we'll go from there. Today's playlist is my top 2022 songs. I only got Spotify in August, so it's a particular niche. But we're starting off with Rise Against. Welcome back to the first training vlog of 2023. The state of affairs of training is still pretty similar to what it was in the last training vlog a couple of weeks ago. Primary focus is still jiu-jitsu, getting about an average of 3 jiu-jitsu sessions in a week. If at all possible, I'll try to get a 4th in. I'm doing somewhere between 1 to 2 weight training sessions a week. I won't call them weightlifting sessions. Very consistently doing a lot of pulls, and the pull is getting a lot stronger, and I've noticed it a lot. You can notice a lot actually when someone's trying to sweep me. The resistance from hamstrings and posterior strength is pretty significant, so that's quite nice. This is probably my first time a full snatch in, I'm going to say, about 4 weeks, and this is also the first session where I've done a back squat in about 4 weeks. Now that's not due to programming, it's not due to any major intention, it's just to how the cookie crumbled with the last few weeks of sessions. The main priority is jiu-jitsu, and some sessions, just due to the nature of how they fell, just didn't end up doing actually full snatches or squats. So I am just kind of feeling this out, so taking quite small jumps. Lower body mobility, very, very good at the moment. So hips, ankles, internal rotation is very good. External rotation gets a little bit tight at times, but it is the bottom position is very good. The upper body, shoulders do get tight on some sessions sporadically. Some sessions the front rack can be quite tight. The overhead isn't too bad, so I've been doing a lot of that neck work like I mentioned, and it really reduced my elbow pain in the overhead position, or elbow stiffness maybe before I'd say elbow pain. So these snatches are actually feeling very good though. Thank God that multiple hundreds, thousands of hours of repetitions of particular movements stay with you and don't just disappear. So these snatches were pretty good by the end of them. So this is 90 kilos and I'm supposed to work up to 100 for 5x2. So the snatches and clean and jerks, to be honest with you, they're not that useful for jiu-jitsu. In fact, they're minimally useful. If you just had a really strong squat, deadlift and upper body movements, I won't say press in particular, but upper body, you'd be a lot more proficient than the snatch and clean and jerk. Some power cleans would be nice, but plyometrics could take care of that. These snatches are something that I was actually quite happy with how they're feeling. So the main things I'm kind of focusing on here was just a nice consistent start position, then really pushing my legs in the initial pull and finishing the pull as much as possible. So speed was quite good in these, and the comfortability was getting a lot better. I think it was taking maybe 45 seconds to 60 seconds rest between sets, so conditioning is quite good, of course, so it didn't really make any difference to take a longer rest on these. One thing is the extension, a little bit too little hip extension, but I am also swinging the bar slightly, so the bar is kind of swinging away from me a little bit, so I just need to extend a bit more vertically and not swing the bar as much, but still finish the extension and get a little bit more out of the pull. So foot movement is quite good, bottom positions are good, and the actual pull positions on the way to the hip I think were pretty satisfactory. Then moved on to, as I mentioned, I was under time constraints, so moved on to straight to 150 kilo snatch pulls, and this is definitely the strongest my snatch pulls I've ever felt at kind of my snatching weights or near maximal snatching weights. So these were 5x3 at 150. So as I mentioned in this session that I was under limited time constraints, Now, I will say this lens focal point, while it might not fit all of me into the shot, it does look great. So I'm going to try and figure out if I can keep using that. So we finished off with these 5 sets of 3 at 150, and they do feel quite strong. So main focus on these is really vertical extension, not bending my arms in the pull, and using as much traps as possible. But you'll see I did bend my arms a little bit on these, maintaining back position, and then straight up, almost trying to hit an isometric at the top of the pull. We're not looking to rebend or anything, so it's literally straight up, as vertical as possible, as much traps. Really use my traps. I'm back. Finish the squats. So we're back into the second day. So this is the following day. I wasn't able to get my squats in, not because I am blaming the family life. It's purely because at that session I completely forgot that my partner was going somewhere. So when I got home, I realized I'd only like 50 minutes to train or less. So just did these the next morning before work. I had jiu-jitsu that evening. So I had 160 kilos for 5x4 or 4x4, and while I felt very good, obviously, because I was just doing squats in the morning, and because I hadn't done, I think it was a full month or more since I'd done any back squats, and so I wanted to just see where it was at. These are those Vivo hiking boots that I wear a lot. I prefer them over the kind of Primus Lights, but I really just wanted to see where my back squat strength was at the moment. So while I was getting through the sets, these obviously felt a lot better than I thought they would have, given a couple of weeks out squatting. However, obviously I was still training, so physically I was still in shape, and if the snatch is going to stay, of course my back squat familiarity is going to remain pretty high. So I just wanted to see. Anton's generally pretty liberal most sessions. If you feel good, he likes to go heavier. He doesn't really seem to waste those opportunities. And while I hadn't told him I was going heavier, I went for 180 for single and just 220, just to see what I'd look without any belts or weightlifting shoes. It literally just felt good, so I just wanted to see what would happen. So obviously 180 is very easy, and then 220 or 200 here. Looking at this 200, I would imagine probably 225 right now in that very moment or during that session. And then maybe if I'm weightlifting shoes and a belt, probably 240. Considering that last year my best back squat was the 260, which I did a few times. I don't think I ever hit that 270. I think it's a pretty good maintenance of shape, considering that I haven't really been squatting a lot and I'm approximately 5 kilos lighter. So I'm quite happy with that. And that will do for the time being for the next few weeks. And then we will reassess once the next competition is over for jiu-jitsu what I'm going to do with my training, and we will go from there. Hope you enjoyed today's training vlog.